How are y'all enjoying your stay in Nathaniel?
Love it.
Welcome to the Bingham Estate.
We are here for another tour, and we have actually toured the Bingham before. We just have another special guest, and you are now opening the Bingham to guests, and we're so excited to share because there's so much more. Yeah. So let's give a little intro. A lot has changed.
Yeah, so the Bingham Estate is a historic luxury estate, so it includes the historic main house built in 1883, so 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, and then we just built 6 cottages with a little historic flair, and those are all 1 bedroom. And then we have a tea room for our guests, and a pickleball court, and a pool. So it's a fantastic place just right off downtown McKinney.
Well, when we first toured your first project, which I found on Instagram, the Tulip house, it was like a luxury flip house. Who flips houses like that? You told us about this vision and this dream, and I don't even think you had closed on the property at that point. So this has been a dream and a vision, but you had some amazing people help you pull this off.
Yes. No, just at the Tulip house, I remember teasing it with y'all, and it was just, a calling from God. God is so good, and it's just been a blessing to do this. I've always wanted to own a bed and breakfast, and we started our first house, the Carolina Cottage. It just didn't work out, and then, God makes you be a little patient, and we got here. But building the Bingham, doing the main house, it was something I was like, okay, I can do this, but building the cottages, of course, I had to have a team. So I worked with Mark McReynolds was our residential designer, and he really knocked it out of the park with the Queen Anne, the Carpenter Gothic, and the Second Empire. And then I brought in some local girls, Sidewalk Dreamery, Cassie and Signe, and they just really pushed the envelope. And really, when I said I wanted to name all the cottages after the Bingham children, they just went, woo, let's keep going. And it became alive. And so while we always tell the true story of the Bingham family in the main house, we do embellish the story of the children just with design. And so they all have unique personalities.
Well, it's a storybook. It feels like you're in an enchanted storybook fairy tale. And I love it. I thought I was going to love it from Instagram, but when I saw it in real life,
it's better. That's the first thing I said.
Better. I know. And we did the Christmas tour back then when y'all did the carriage house, and it was just piece by piece. I don't even think we broke ground on the pool and the pickleball. So it's fun to have y'all. So I'm happy y'all are here.
Yes, it's full circle. So let's go see the cottages. Yay. Okay. So like you said, every cottage has a persona. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, so welcome to the Eliza. Eliza is the one that I imagine she studied at the College of Charleston, right in the heart. Charleston is such a huge inspiration. I think I told you all that when y'all were at the Tulip house, and I love it. So this one is just garden. It's serene. It's sweet. It's our 6 cottages at the very end of the estate. And as you'll notice, you see this gorgeous anthropology wallpaper. It's just stunning. And then all the little details above the kitchenette just kind of tell her story, right? She loves the gardening and just very feminine and sophisticated. And so each of the cottages, they all have their king-size bed, a little seating area. And then one of my most favorite, I love finding all those architectural pieces. So each cottage has a unique historic mantle, and so this one I sourced out of Dallas, and then we have the gas fireplaces, so it's just going to be just heavenly. So it's the perfect place for a girls' weekend, a retreat, or maybe you and your spouse just need to sneak away, let grandma take care of the baby.
Yes.
So I will say that I thought the second one was my favorite, but actually this is my favorite.
Eliza. Yes.
It is definitely my favorite. And what you said about how everyone who comes in gets a little love letter from
Yes, from the Bingham siblings. So if you received one from Eliza, Eliza would just tell you about how she loves history and culture and architecture, just to already set the mood. And then we even pick her favorite stores. So maybe Eliza shops at Charlotte's. Maybe she has her Moscow Mule at, Rick's downtown. Just something a little bit. We always want to be connecting with the community. And of course, Eliza would love the farmer's market on Chestnut Street.
So that is the reason you really want to come to downtown historic McKinney, is because the square, the ambiance, the community. I mean, it's not just a one-off somewhere where you can, this is an actual sweet little town that you can enjoy and stay.
It reminds me of Franklin, Tennessee. You go to Nashville, but you go 30 miles, whichever direction it is, and you walk into history. And I love it. You could stay on property the whole time and enjoy yourself, or you can go enjoy 170 stores. We have Tubbs Brewery. That's our own Magnolia here. There's just a lot to do, or go on nature hike at the Herd Craig. So McKinney is a fantastic place just to come and be.
Okay, I want to talk about the paint colors. I know you might not remember them top of mind, but you might.
Yeah, some of them.
What is this green?
This one is Fair and Ball Vert de Terre, and it's Cassie and Signy, they loved this color, and you actually see this one on the exterior, but this one, it shines on all the lattice work, and it's so dreamy. We love color drenching just from your ceiling, the trim. It's just kind of that little interior design kiss where it's
all finished.
Yeah, and everything always has a reason. Even this one's a little wink to the floors, or a little wink to the main house. We always want to repeat that checkerboard. If you remember, I think we would have shown it on the tour. We love the swan. You'll see the swan made her appearance here in in Eliza, the main house, and then you'll see it in the tea room.
Bows and swans.
Yes, bows and swans. Yes.
If you want to theme Erica's personality, bows and swans.
Put a bow on it.
I want to mention real quick this rug. Do you have sources for things like this?
I'll have to look this one up. I don't remember this one in particular, but
it's so pretty.
Yes, it just
and the color is perfect. So if someone just took the paint color, the wallpaper, and this, I feel like you could create a little getaway in your home. I'm gonna feed the baby real quick. He won't let me, but they're gonna talk about the bathroom.
So each cottage has a really spacious bathroom. You have a walk-in shower, you have a soaking tub, and a closet. It's just a really nice space to be in.
Yes, and you said little cottages, but these are not small by any stretch. They're very spacious, the bedrooms and the bath, the seating areas. I would say my favorite part of this whole room is the lattice work that you put on the doors and then repeated the pattern on the vanity.
Yes.
Makes it special.
The millwork in here is probably my favorite. Anything that we can just wink back historically while they're new builds, we want to make sure they feel old. Even the penny tile you will see in the design, each one's a little bit different. The hardwoods are antique hardwoods. And again, we love the swan.
Fun fact, when we met Erica, she painstakingly had done a penny tile inlay mosaic on a floor of a home she was redoing by herself. Penny tile by penny tile. And how many days did that take you?
It took me a full 24 hours doing it, but days you can only sit so long.
It looked like weeks worth of work.
Yeah. I know, and even while the Bingham is ready, it's one of those things I cannot wait to get back at it, and so we want to do little penny tile on the porches.
Oh, fun.
So that'll be a good project for summertime for me.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Yay!
One of the best parts about staying somewhere like the Bingham Estate Cottages is you don't have to clean up after yourself. No chores, no mess, just peace and quiet. But what if you could bring that simple, effortless feeling into your everyday life at home, even with the kiddos and lots of dogs? That's where Ecovacs comes in. This Dbot X8 Pro Omni, a robotic vacuum and mop hybrid, brings a comprehensive cleaning solution to your home. Whether it's cleaning up pet hair, crumbs, spilled juice, this robot takes care of it all. What makes it different from a traditional vacuum is that it can vacuum and mop at the same time and switches seamlessly between both modes. Plus, it handles everything without you lifting a finger. I named mine Rosie. Now let's talk about the mop. The Osmo Roller Mop is a total upgrade from anything you've seen before. Unlike traditional dual disc mops that just smear dirty water all around, this roller mop scrubs the floor with constant pressure, spinning at 200 RPM and using 16 precision nozzles to keep it clean through the entire cycle. It even self-cleans while it works, so no dirty water just being dragged across your floors. I tested it with spilled juice and Pop-Tart crumbs, and it handled it great. One feature I absolutely love is the True Edge 2.0. The D-Bot has extended brushes and a roller that reach right up to the edges, ensuring nothing gets left behind. Those baseboards are going to get regularly cleaned. The D-Bot has extended brushes and a roller that reach right up to the edges, ensuring nothing gets left behind. Straight up to the cabinets, straight up to those baseboards. You don't have to manually touch those spots anymore. Now for the pet owners, especially the ones with long hair, you know the struggle of getting hair tangled around the vacuum brush. But with the Zero Tangle 2.0 technology, it's no longer a problem. The V-shaped bristles and central rubber strip guide the hair into the suction inlet, preventing tangles and making maintenance a breeze. I tested it with all the pet hair, including the bunny, and not a single strand got tangled. Setting up the D-Bot was so easy. Just download the app and it walks you through the whole setup process. It maps the entire house in 10 minutes, recognizing carpets, hardwoods, floors, and you can even label the rooms so that you're able to use the voice control. You can say, "Okay, Yiko, I'm listening. Clean living room." And it gets straight to work. The Omni Station is a total game changer. After cleaning, it returns to the station, self-empties, self-cleans the mop, and even dries it with hot air. That means the robot is ready for its next job without me having to lift a finger. So, should you get the Ecovacs D-Bot X8 Pro Omni? If you want a hands-free cleaning experience, the answer is yes. It vacuums, it mops, scrubs, self-cleans, and handles dog hair, crumbs, all the things. It does it perfectly. It's the ultimate cleaning solution for your home, and it does it all with little maintenance. If you're ready to stop cleaning your floors manually and want more time to enjoy your home, this robot is for you. Link in description.
Hey! How are y'all? How are y'all enjoying your stay in Nathaniel?
Love it.
Loving the Nathaniel.
Totally different, right?
Totally different. And I need to be cautious with the word favorite because I feel like
I know.
it's like a kind of like in a house, every house has a room with a different vibe. Like
Yeah.
this is the moody one. Tell us about who is Nathaniel.
Yes. You know, it's funny you say that. People always ask me, what is my favorite? It's like your children. You have 3 too, where it's like, which child is your favorite? Who's acting right? So what kind of mood are you in? But Nathaniel is so dreamy, so dapper. He's the man that wears the morning suit. He studied in London. He maybe even worked there, and he's bringing his treasures back. So the Bingham, Captain Bingham actually worked at the predecessor of the Dallas Morning News, and then he owned his first newspaper in town, the Inquirer. So that's why we have a little typewriter in back. But you cannot miss this Divine Savages wallpaper out of the UK, and it's actually velvet poodles.
Velvet poodles. I need that.
Does it come in different colorways?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness, because you know my kids.
She's a poodle girl.
I'm a poodle girl.
This is your wallpaper.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it just kind of gives that kind of moody, kind of British vibe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, okay, do we know the green that corresponds with the poodle wallpaper?
No.
We don't know. But
Did
we
you
are
match
gonna-
it?
Yes, I believe Cassie and Signe color matched it.
It's
Perfect.
so good.
And you know, when you're designing a room, sometimes you sometimes want to lean white, maybe do an offset, but that was one of the things. Again, you're going to keep seeing that repeat that we did, color drench.
Mm-hmm.
And when you walk in and there is no natural light, it's moody, but then you add, open the curtains and it feels fresh and chic.
Yes.
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 Chic.
And so where did you source many of your furnishings? You said
Yeah.
there was Facebook Marketplace
Yes,
involved.
Yes,
And
trying to find these antiques. The one thing that was most important in this room, of course, this is the visual comfort chandelier that we see, but it's classic and I loved it. That was our big splurge. But antiques like the headboard, you can't see it quite as well with caning. That was sourced out of California. And then I have to give just a shout out to the most gorgeous mantle. This is my favorite. It's tiger wood. It actually came from a historic house in downtown McKinney. It just, the way they renovated, it wasn't going to stay. And I was like, I have to have these. And I laugh about these chairs. So my husband is an attorney and has worked with his father many years. And I could not find the perfect chairs for this room. And I walked in to go visit how I couldn't find chairs. And then I stood up and I was like, wait, I'm taking these chairs. And they're perfect.
They look
they're
like
lawyerish.
Yes,
Very.
and which is, I feel like Nathaniel. He would love these chairs.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
what is Nathaniel's email? Like, what does he tell you that he likes?
Just telling him how he just likes, he's just, I said dapper, and he's just very, he's the one that wants to go downtown and just be in Rick's bar room and listen to music and just be with friends, just that outgoing, the man you always dreamt about when you were reading Teen magazine back in the day.
Yeah.
That even still exists.
Yes.
That's awesome.
But just very dreamy and just put together. And what I'm trying to teach my own son, just be a Southern gentleman.
Yes.
To say yes, ma'am.
And
Yes.
what would his bathroom look like?
So in Nathaniel's restroom, it has these gorgeous anthropology lights that are just my favorite. And then you have your soaking tub. Again, you're going to see that repeat of the historic tile. And it's just moody, but in a good way. Nathaniel's the one that you want to book for October for the weekend, and you're going to have that gas fireplace and just hang out.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's bring that up then. October, this does feel like fall to me.
Yes.
What are your seasonal recommendations for the cottages?
Yeah. If I was going to stay in the fall, I would stay in Nathaniel, and that kind of goes around Oktoberfest and just that really nice time. And then I feel like Margaret, you'll see her in a little bit, she's just spring, right? Eliza, the garden.
Yeah.
They all they all have their own personality. So if you stay in one, doesn't mean that you've experienced the whole Bingham. You should book them all.
Keep going.
Yes.
Every weekend.
Yeah.
Do a little.
Which would be fun to have some type, like you said, of a retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can visit all your friends in their own little
Yeah.
We should do a
Cottage.
retreat, and we have a little a hat where you draw where you stay.
Yay.
Oh, that's cool. I love the Rita Vanity. That's very old but new.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's fresh.
Yes.
Yes.
And these just gorgeous. All the knobs and just trying to keep it, again, that historic feel.
Yes.
It's awesome.
I love it.
Where are we going next?
We are headed to Sally Mills.
Okay. Hi, Sally Mills.
Hi, welcome to my cottage.
Are you gonna do a whole a little skit where you?
Yeah. Welcome to Sally Mills.
So I think number 2. This is my number 2.
Oh, Sally Mills, you have to see her. She is gorgeous, and this one is very Parisian, just those European treasures, and I just, exactly the way I'm dressed, this is how she makes you feel. So if you want femininity, this is the cottage for you.
So your little get up was just sat on the counter ready for.
Yeah, Sally Mills, she just left. And you know what's so funny about Sally Mills? When we found out about the Bingham children, they all listed their last name or middle names. And when we saw Sally, I was like, no, Sally Mills. And she actually did go by Sally Mills. So
That's
I
awesome.
love that about her. But Sally Mills, okay, the wallpaper in here is a true favorite. It is Schumacher hydrangea drape. And if you remember, we saw it in the main house.
Yes.
So again, just a little bit of wink to what would have been in there. And then I love the checkerboard floor, and it's just, this one's so fun.
So
So
what
fun.
color is the pink? Do you know?
I know you're gonna ask me. I'm gonna tell you it. I'm gonna text that one to you.
You can text me anything.
It's not coming to me right now. But I do know the white is Sherwin-Williams Creamy.
Creamy. Okay, let me get the baby real quick, and you'll keep going.
Tell me about the chairs.
Oh my gosh, this is an old Lee Joffa classic Althea fabric, and it was the marketplace find of a century. I don't think I'll ever find something as gorgeous again. And it came with some curtains, so my mother-in-law and I made all the Euros. And
I was wondering, I thought, well, if this was a marketplace find, where did you ever find the fabric?
Yes.
That's perfect.
Yes, and it all came together, and we found all of these antique pieces. Just a lot of the pieces in here are antique, and that's what I love about it. There's always history, and that's why you come to an old house. You want something attached to it. And again, this is a fun old mantle. When we were pulling the space together, I felt like we couldn't get Sally Mills, and we were all trying to figure out. And one of the girls, Cassie, over the weekend, she found the phone, and we knew immediately. Of course, Sally Mills would have that gorgeous phone and just all the pieces, and it's just always so dreamy of what tells her story. You know, I think of her little French perfume, and it's just
so fun. What would Sally Mills' scalloped bathroom look like?
Yes, just continuing all of the scallops and just sweet pink and antique mirror, and of course she has my bow. So
that's awesome.
I know. Sally Mills is. I feel like Sally Mills is your summertime one. It just feels it feels fresh. It feels chic, and
Where'd you get the lamps?
Those are antique as well.
Those are so good.
Everything in here is antique for Sally Mills, and I love it.
I love it.
That's the one thing I always want to say. Always be on the lookout for something. There was an estate sale I went to. I got those for $1, and
wow, they're perfect.
Yeah, so everything is. I love old.
Well, I love old, but also I've told you, and Shelby knows, like when I'm looking for a place to stay, I want some really comfy bedding and luxury bedding. And so each cottage also, the bed just is perfect.
It's a stunning Tove bed. I love it. And just our sheets and our mattresses, we always just want to make sure they're comfortable, and because there's nothing worse than having sheets that feel crunchy.
Yes.
We never outsource our cleaning of our sheets. We always do it in-house and ensure that we're using good detergent, making it feel nice. I hate horrible sheets.
I know, girl.
And our shower, and that was the one thing I always joked, we made sure we turned up the water heater and you have that full pressure, because my mom would not stay if she is not like blown away when she gets in the shower.
Okay, well we gotta have mom stay, so there you go.
So this is so good that he doesn't want, normally he lets us film, but he wants to participate because it's so good. But I did want to make sure we got a close-up of these doors. Every door to the bathroom has something interesting, like the scallops or the lattices. Like, you had to have a good someone, trim guy. I mean, and when
does your trim guy love you?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He didn't say, "Are you serious?"
No, it's funny when you're doing projects like this. They're always like, "What is it that you want to build?" Because even this, initially, we were gonna do a pocket door, and thankfully we didn't. Right? I feel like it's. The French doors are stunning, but having that old transom window again reiterates. But I think even when you're building stuff like this, just always try to find that Pinterest inspiration. In a lot of millwork, even you'll see on our exterior, you don't have to have your trim carpenter make it by hand. There's so many people that already do it. So this is already a piece made, so it makes it an easier piece. So even if you have doors right now, you can go add some of that detailing in, and it makes it feel special.
Yeah, and you did that on the exterior too, where every single house has a little bit of.
Yes, and that was where all my pennies went to that. You know, when Mark McReynolds, the architect, when he designed them, you know, it had all this crazy millwork, and I was like, how are we going to do that? You know, all my carpenters' eyes were just huge, and we found a company out of Quinlan, Texas, that actually specializes. They ship all over the nation. I'll send you, is Vintage Woodworks, and they know by folk Victorian, they know by Queen Anne, and so you just get that really special piece for your house to just make it shine.
That's awesome because they're so close.
Right.
Yes.
And I was going to say, really, the experience does start when you walk in. I mean, the little pitched roof that you see, and you've painted it in the blue. Why do they do that again?
What?
The
paint blue to keep off the ghost.
To keep off the ghosts. Okay. So anyway, not goats, ghosts.
Ghosts.
Okay, so that is just the funnest little detail of every cottage when you come in, and the Bingham is the
goats.
Yeah, the
goats.
Or making up new stuff here.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
This is like, it's gonna be like historic Chinese telephone. Like in like 100 years, you're gonna be like, they used to do that to keep the goats away. Let's go to the next one. Okay, where are we?
We're in the Stephen. We call this one the honeymoon suite.
Ooh.
So the Stephen is a Queen Anne. It's a little bit larger. So Margaret and Stephen are Queen Anne. So they're just a little bit extra, but just gives you the opportunity to have, you know, a little bit more seating space. Stephen's the cottage that I imagine that if you've rented a couple, you and your friends might come back and gather here.
I think they're all a little extra.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
I know. We're going to add a table. We're going to add a little table and chairs in here because it's just another opportunity just to play a game of mahjong, cards, visit, drink coffee, maybe a nightcap here.
Yes. Okay, well, tell us about the wallpaper because this is going to be the question of the video.
Gosh, this is an Australian company called Milton and King in the lattice work. So it was funny, you know, when you're designing them over the past couple of years, we had our mood boards and we kind of started changing, and you know, as the estate started becoming more alive and we knew their personalities, we changed, and this was a last minute change and it was stunning, but we switched it. This was originally going to be Margaret because it had the lattice, and then when we saw the lattice wallpaper, of course it had to all line up, and it's just absolutely stunning. It's very grand millennial with that really pale light blue offsetting it. So, and then again, I just love my little antique.
Where'd this come from?
This one came from Dallas. No, this one was sourced from McKinney.
Oh, I don't know how you would even keep up.
I know. I'm like, oh, I love them.
So fun. Okay, I'm still holding true to the first one though. It's my favorite for sure.
She's gonna keep doing this. Well, okay, so right behind you, Mom. I'm not like I'm not a Keurig person, but that's a grand millennial Keurig. If you're wondering.
Yeah.
Okay, you call this the honeymoon suite. You can do a wedding at the Bingham.
The Bingham actually used to be a wedding venue for a little bit. So because we've turned it back into a residence, we do keep it very small. It's like you're renting the home to have a small gathering. So we've done a few little micro weddings. They're out in the garden, you know, no DJ, anything, just very simple and sweet and intimate.
But you can use it for photo shoots for wedding bridals and any manner of showers and things like that.
Yes, we do the baby shower package, we do the bridal shower package, so you get to stay at the Bingham for a night, and then we have all the tables and chairs, and we actually have the tea party food, and now that we have the tea room open, just another space for our guests to be able to welcome their favorite people.
Yeah, they were literally setting up for an event while we're here, so it's fun to see the actual full experience.
Yeah, it's coming to life. You know, it's been a long time coming, and seeing the parties and the gardens, and yeah, we're really excited.
Yes. Okay, before we hop to the next cottage, let's touch on the bathroom. I love that the bathrooms do feel cohesive. Like they feel like you kind of took a template, but then you made it
unique,
tweaked it free.
Yes, it's that walk-in shower, and then bringing some of that fun tile. I think Stephen has a little bit of the pink in the penny, and then just bringing a lot of the greenery. If you look in the pictures, it's just we always want to tell that one consistent story of the Bingham sibling.
Yeah. What do you thought?
Love it.
She walked over. She had to get Michelle's full review of the.
Well, you forget. I've already been in, but I wanted to see it again.
Well, there's so many details. I was like, because we did a preview. We should probably one day just do a blind home tour where we're like literally just like on the fly getting the.
No, because then I would just be like, I need a first look. Yeah. Because I would be like, just
in here, there's just so many details. I don't know how you remember the names, which wallpaper, where you got the mantels, because, you know, it's easy to imagine like a full home, but like when you're doing each space feels, I was telling them when we were like preparing for the tour, I was like, just think of it like 6 rooms. No. So
way bigger than that.
It is. I mean, it's a dream project of a lifetime, right? And like we said, all of the Bingham children have become characters, and they've become alive. And so even when you're out shopping, you'll be like, oh, this is what Stephen would put in his room, or oh, Sally Mills, oh, she loves jewelry, we'll get some jewelry. So they've become people to us.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it fun. You're not just going to any Airbnb or just a random hotel. It's truly an experience here, and I feel so honored to maintain the Bingham legacy here.
It's awesome.
So good. Okay, next space.
We're going. Next cottage.
I think this is my favorite. I've already started shooting and saying, I think this is my favorite.
You said that this is your favorite. I love the pattern play in here, and in all of them really, but that is a gift. So you and your design girls killed it.
Yes, this one, I know, again, it's what day of the week is my favorite, but this one, Margaret, I always feel the most comfortable. It feels very quiet and just peaceful. So Margaret is one that we imagine just to be that the business lady, just she can do it all, right? And she always looks chic, but this would be her house in the Hamptons, and just kind of that Nancy Myers style.
Yes.
This is fair. So this is one I can always tell. Pharaoh ball, ground pink, and it's offset with Rifle and Company hydrangeas, and so.
Oh, the little beadwork is so sweet,
And those are each every single one.
Oh,
I was wondering.
Yeah.
And the mantle.
Yes, another. Oh, this one came from another historic house in downtown McKinney, and the same one from Nathaniel, and it's just stunning. And as I've said before, the Queen Anne's are a little bit bigger, so we put a little table so you can play, and I love that. It's just you can sit down. We had some girls a few weekends ago that just played mahjong, and I love it.
I haven't done the mahjong yet.
I don't know.
Is it hard?
I mean, I think it's a little bit, you got to learn the rules.
And I think I shouldn't even say that because it's almost embarrassing, because if you're not a mahjonger, is it a mahjonger? Then
Sure.
who are you? Everyone's doing it.
I feel like it's the new bridge. My mother-in-law still
Yes,
plays bridge, and
yes.
it's just another opportunity. But I think that's what the Bingham is. The Bingham is an excuse to put your phone down and really connect with people. If you're not visiting and kind of refreshing yourself as a mom, as a wife, then it gets exhausting. So that's what the Bingham is. It's a haven for just recharging and praying and just eating well.
Eating well.
Yes.
Yeah. And another thing, sometimes you can't always jump on a plane to go to Charleston, South Carolina, where I would want to be at all times, but come to Little McKinney and you're getting a little of that southern flair. But
I think people need to book this when you need to create a space to dream.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to write down what you want for the next season, or
Writer's retreat.
writer's retreat.
Because you were saying that some of the Binghams were writers.
So Captain Bingham owned one of the first newspapers in town, the Inquirer, ran it till he was done writing, and I love that. And that's what the Bingham is for me. I'm a CPA that just got burnt out and needed to follow a dream. And if you would have told me at 25 you're going to own this estate and you're going to be running a bed and breakfast, I would have laughed. Or a mother of three, and it's crazy. And so I think it's just having faith, and you just have to one step forward. And as we both know, that it doesn't always go right the first time. Remember, I tried to buy a bed and breakfast. I tried to do other stuff, and it didn't. But it doesn't mean that you should stop. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Not failing,
You're not trying.
Okay.
Our pastor had a quote this week, and it's you don't have problems if God has solutions.
That's right.
So it just doesn't always look.
And God can't use you as a vessel if you're just sitting there. If you're sitting there saying, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that, then he can't do anything with that, right? You have to get out there and, prayers with legs, right? You got to keep moving. And I find that God put me centered around people who have faith, and then it's helped my journey grow. And even with the Bingham, it's always going to take time to get the clientele that I want to be here. And again, I just have to pause. If God helped me build it, God will help me run it.
That's right.
There you
So
go.
good.
Yeah.
Well, I did want to I'm looking over here and you can see the carriage house, and I know it's a little work in progress right now, but that was where we did the Christmas.
Yes. We were joking that you had asked us if we'd like to do a room, and I said, no, this Grand Millennial house is not my space. But then you said the carriage house, and I was like, there you go, I can do that. So we had fun.
Yes, it was so much fun. And you wanted the little Christmas cows? Do you remember?
Reindeer.
Yes. Oh, reindeer.
Real reindeer, Erica. Get it right.
She called multiple companies. I do have a company now that you can rent reindeer.
Yes, you can, but you have to get early. So if we do that again, if we're on the tour again, you call me. months in advance so I can get my reindeer booked.
No, we have to. I that's what I love about the Bingham. I'm like, what can we do? It's the possibilities are endless. I even want to open up the cottages and just have little pop-up shops in all of them and just have sip and shop, and there we can have your reindeer, and just at Christmas time and do a Christmas tea. I'm just how fun.
It's just the possibilities are endless.
I know I said I wanted to rent this to dream, but now I'm afraid because these gals dream too hard.
I know, we're like, you just gotta cast a big net. And,
Yeah.
You know, people always laugh. They always say, what about your husband? Like, has this been hard? And he is the most, chill person. He's like, I know you have a dream and it will work. And I think that's the thing too, just like y'all, where it's real estate. You know? Real estate is a little bit
risky.
smarter. Yeah, it's risky, but it's at least it's tangible, right?
Yes.
It's not a product, and so I always feel comfortable that way. And I told my husband at the end of the day, we saved the Bingham. It, when this was sold in a private sale, more than likely the pool house, carriage house would have been knocked down, and this would have just been little track homes. And now it's an estate, and it will stay that way, and it just for the next generation. Right?
Yes.
So good.
It's awesome.
All right. Well, next,
Can we talk about
Cottage.
the bathroom?
What is the character here? Who is this?
So we are in Isaac. As you can see, this one is just a little bit shift of design, right? Isaac is your cultured one. He loves to go down to the Impact and go see, a play. He's the one that wants to study art, and it's very anthropology to me.
Yes.
It is. And this mantle is very anthropology.
Oh, I love it. And it started with the color in here and just bringing in those rich, moody colors of the blue and green. But it starts with this Rifle and Company rug too. That just sets the tone. And Cassie and Signe, they pushed me to the limit on this one. I'm a lot more comfortable in Eliza and Margaret. But when Isaac was being designed, it was like, trust the process, and they just knocked it out of the park.
Love the chandelier.
Yeah, this might be my favorite, but it is, I guess it is cohesive. Like, it still feels like it belongs here, but it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, I always kind of say you have the black sheep of the family, right?
Yes.
The one that's a little bit different, and I feel like this is
But you still know they're related.
Yeah, they're all part of the same theme. And he just has all these a little bit more clean lines, but where you see the gold, and then when you walk into the bathroom in Isaac, it's just, this is the only cottage where we did paint on the walls and wallpaper in the bathroom. Everybody's reverse, but he has this gorgeous magnolia wallpaper with this gold, and it's stunning.
That was when we walked in the bathroom and saw the stripes. I was like,
yes,
this is where it became my favorite.
Yeah.
That moment was, and that honestly,
I love it.
It feels like something I could imagine you loving, but not imagine you.
No, it was not my wheelhouse. And again, that's why what's great about working with design teams is you can have a love of designs. I read someone say that my favorite form of art is interior design. And sometimes we all stay where we feel comfortable. And I think this is the opportunity here in the Bingham to push it, because I want everyone to have their own experience, right? Not just mine. The main house, you're going to get quintessential, Bingham Estate, but I think the cottages push you to a different level.
Totally.
It's awesome. And the color on these walls, do you know it?
Not by heart.
Well, we will pop that up. Again, there's
so fun.
So many details. I don't know off the top of my head how you would know that off the top of your head.
This one doesn't always come, am I going to be painting this one again? No, I think it's the perfect Isaac paint.
Right.
I'm like, give me Margaret, and I'll do that ground pink everywhere.
Yeah,
but
you do have repeat colors that you.
I always say
sleepy blue.
Yeah, I've adopted it to be Bingham blue, because when you walk into that tea room, I was like, should I go pink? And I was like, no, it just needs to be Bingham blue.
Yeah,
Bingham blue. Well, it looks kind of mauve, and I just love it.
Yeah, it's moody. I love it. Do you want to see the bathroom?
Yes, please.
This bathroom, again, it just pops with that gold. And again, we're trying to always be cohesive. We're telling that same story. And again, it's just those clean lines, but it still gives you that.
Why are you bringing a dog in here?
Well, I just wanted to let y'all know that Isaac likes Scotties, not poodles.
She felt like
Nathaniel. Yes. It's all these fun details. Who are they? What do they like? Who's their dog? What do they drink? And
Who's their dog?
Yeah.
What's his name? I love it.
I now feel like I need to adopt some other pets for the other ones.
For sure.
So they
Yes.
feel like,
Everybody needs a pet.
yeah.
Sally Mills needs a cat.
Yes.
Don't you
doesn't
agree?
like she'd have a
Yeah.
cat.
Okay. Well, okay, you were saying.
No, just clean lines. One of my most favorite things you're gonna have to take a peek at is actually the toilet paper. Again, that's just one of those fancy things that we just
Do
love.
you have that in every bathroom?
Mm-hmm.
And did you like order that online, or is it actually?
Yeah. There's so many antique replicas that we've been seeing, even in the hardware, just trying to, again, repeat that and just be classic. And just, we love brass, but you'll also notice we'll switch it up and we'll put a different, chrome. And I think you always don't want to be too matchy-matchy. And sometimes it's nice to add in the different metals.
Yes. Well, I am very motivated at this point to do something with green, gold, and this mauve color. I feel like this is a magical combo that
it's soothing, and it's so fun for a teenager, for
Yes.
your daughter, that
Or-
it's a little bit different.
or for myself.
Yeah, true. A husband, when you tell a husband, hey, I want to paint it pink, come have him stay in the Isaac and be like, I can do pink.
Guys, we have a solution for you. If your husband does not agree with your color palette, bring him here and you problem solved.
Yeah, try it out.
Yes. Okay, so this is a fun home tour because normally when we share, they can't always come and experience it in real life.
Yes. That's the great thing about the Bingham. You can experience luxury, but have, you can see it. You can experience it. So the cottages, you can book each cottage individually. You can rent the main house, or you can rent a couple, or vice versa, or you can rent the whole estate.
Which would be great for a retreat. I mean, are we going to do a retreat? What are we going to do?
I'm coming. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I'm going to come and I'm going to invite my friends. But what if you wanted to rent the whole estate? How many guests could stay?
It can sleep up to 20 people.
That's great.
Yeah, and so when you think about maybe having a little retreat, maybe a few day people come see, we like to keep it around 25 people.
Intimate.
Yeah, it's just keeping it sweet that way. And then all of the cottages, parking wise, we have garage parking, so you get one spot and so your car, and then we have parking in the back, so it's a sweet spot.
And there's a pool with these beautiful umbrellas, and so in the summer it would be a really fun little stay.
Yeah, and we always say that we love dogs and children, but they this is not the place for them. So we keep it 25 and older, and we do plan, a mother of 3 and have 2 little girls, and we plan to do some mommy and me retreats and different things, but in general it's just adults, and honestly it's really nice.
Yes.
And you can actually lay by the pool, or play pickleball or read. We have several little seating areas, and as time goes on we'll be adding the fire pit and things and little games to play. So it'll be a lot of fun.
So how do they book?
You can book on our website at binghamestate.com, or you can also find us on Airbnb, but either way. And we're happy to host you. Hopefully we'll be partnering with some restaurants downtown, and we'll be serving like continental breakfast and things on the weekend.
Wow.
And then I also want to make sure that if you are a bride, this is a good like micro wedding space, like your whole family, just like really sweet, special.
Or photo shoots,
brand shoots. This would be great if you were, really photographing anything, even just anything.
Yeah,
there's not
it's
really much.
pretty.
So,
and we love meeting people and being part of the experience. It's not just a turnkey for us. It's all about community. So it really is a sweet place to be.
yes. And so now we're going to go shop and eat in downtown McKinney, because that's magical. And that's also why you need to stay here, because honestly, even if you don't live over here, just shopping and eating.
and the food is phenomenal.
Off the charts. Well, thank you for having us. And I'm so thankful that we've gotten to
come to all of them.
We've got to come to all of them and really encourage each other and
keep going, don't stop. But you got done so much quicker than we did. You need to come.
Maybe you need to come help us.
Speed it along.
Yes. Well, thank you for watching. Also, you can follow the Bingham Estate on Instagram because it is fun to see what other people do here, like the shoots and the weddings and stuff like that. So,
so like and subscribe and share this with your friends.
Thank
Follow
you.
the Bingham. We'll
Thank
see you
you.
next time. Bye.
bye.
Bye-bye.